Hey guys, I already tested on G+. This review is kind of special for me because first thing, it is my first double review, and the second thing is this probably will be my most positive review ever. Usually I don't get pumped about any particular product, but this time I did. Which one it is, I will tell you later. But let's first tell you about what device I will be reviewing today. It is the Sony 10 RBT and the Sony 1 RBT, the bigger brother. These cost, like I checked on Amazon, $200 right now, and these 260. In Europe, at least in Germany, it was like this, 160 euros against 240 euros. So the difference is even way bigger here in Germany for these. But let's just quickly cover this one. You have with both a carrying pouch. This is the one of the 10 RBT, quite cheap in my opinion. It gets the job done. This one, it has slightly leather, but also not really premium or something I would like to get with something like this. Otherwise, what else do you get? You get a pretty standard USB cable for charging and a slightly above average audio cable, as you can see here. Let's start with the 10 RBT. It is also a headset because both use Bluetooth. And the design, as you can see here, it is definitely more minimalistic than here and slightly more, I think kind of slightly more boring, but you definitely see on both there are Sony products. One other thing I have to mention here, the 10 RBT comes with two modes, standard and high quality mode. The high quality mode can be used if you have a good connection. If you have a bad one, you have to go over to standard. I switched to high quality, didn't have any issue and left it like that. Let's quickly go around the device and check the port or the buttons. If we check, so this would be, right now I turned it all the way. This is the left one, you have the input if you want to use it wired. Here you have the microphone, the micro USB cable, the power button, and an LED, which a nice thing here is for Sony. Thank you for this. This is a very subtle LED that won't disturb you at all. The other side here, we have the volume rocker and the skip button and play. Personally, I don't like these small flimsy buttons, but at least the positioning is okay, good to reach. If we check the 1 RBT right now, definitely I definitely prefer this look. It looks definitely way more premium and just nicer. I like this design, but in terms of the buttons and ports, not so much. We have here the power button, as you can see here, and the ports are under flaps, and I personally don't like flaps. Here for reset and micro USB, let's close that. I don't like flaps. And for the input, if you want to use the as wired, not my favorite thing at all. The microphone is here, and one weird decision they made here on this one is you can turn off and on the NFC. Here it is on, and you don't have a switch. I don't know why I need a switch for this. Also, I have a reply call or answer call button, which on the 10 RBT is the same as the play button. I don't know why they did an extra button here. I think it's useless, but otherwise the same buttons, but the volume button is here at the top, and I prefer definitely the button placement on the 10 RBT because this one is convenient, but this one is inconvenient, and that's the one I would be using. But in the end, neither of these things make any difference because I won't use the buttons that much after all. So now I want to get about the design and the build quality. As you can already see, both look nice, both feel nice. The overall build quality is fine. I would expect a bit more for the price on this one, but they are definitely acceptable for what you get. The buttons are okay, but what I want to talk mostly now about is the comfort and fit, because we covered the design, I think. And here I want to again start with the 10 RBT. This one at the top is very soft and a really nice memory foam. Definitely very comfortable to use for longer times. Here the good thing is it is also very soft, and I think it's also memory foam and it fits perfectly. The good thing here is the size here is very big, so you should fit in practically every ear. For me it's almost too big, but I'm okay with it being bigger than smaller. One thing I don't like so much, as you can see here, you can see the speaker. And if you have ears that are sticking out, you could touch the grill, the plastic here. For me, it was the same on every headphones I tested. I always touch with the right ear, so I think my right ear must be sticking out more. On the left one, as much as I press against it, it won't hit it. But otherwise, how is the fit? Definitely very comfortable. The pressure here is also very nicely balanced, not too much, not too loose. It fits snugly, I would say. About the noise cancellation, you don't really get a lot. It is moderate, it's okay. And the noise leakage, as you can already see here, you have ports that go out, so people will hear definitely. So if you are in a bus, in a train, or a spaceship, people will notice you. But then again, I have to say, I don't think either of these two are made for any active activities. Because especially on this one, if you shift your head around or move your head too much around, the sound changes. You lose all the bass, and this is very weird. This doesn't happen on the 1 RBT, so I still don't think both are meant for really active activities, because like I said, they are more for home use because they don't fit too hard. They are more on the softer, comfortable side. So staying at home, doing maybe like something like the dishes or so is okay, but I think they are definitely more for on the couch users than something like this. If we check the 1 RBT, again, I am very pleasantly surprised with the fit and feel. You can use it for longer times. You get a little bit sweaty ears, but definitely not warm, and you can use this for hours and hours, no problem here at all. As for the 1 RBTs, the first moment I put those on, because I wanted to know if it's worth the extra money, and it is 80 euros after all. And the first second I put these on, I was blown away. First of all, these pillows are extremely soft. They are already soft on the 10 RBT, but they are so much softer on the 1 RBT as well as this thing. And as you can see here, this is bigger. But I think it fits like a glove on every ear, because I didn't have any room left, but I didn't feel tight in at all. It has the same issue with my ear touching, but this is a small thing, and like I said, on everything. But they are so incredibly comfortable for hours and hours, and I use them so long, and all I can say is awesome. I can't think of anything better. I tried the Bose AE2V. They were way lighter and also comfortable, but these are like if you put two pillows against your ears. This is so amazing. And even though they weigh a lot more, because this one weighs 210 grams and these weigh 297 grams, I still prefer those even for longer listening sessions. They fit so much nicer and better. So in overall, the winner for comfort and fit definitely is the 1 RBT, even though these are also great. Now I want to cover the sound and start with the bad thing first. On both, the maximum volume is not high as I would like to be. It is just about enough, and I would say the 10 RBT are like maybe 2 or 3% louder, but as I said, you have no reserves left. I mostly use those at 98 to 100% and these maybe on 95 to 100%, so not really any room left, but in the end it was just about enough, and I'm fine with that. One thing I also have to mention, both are definitely no studio monitors. These are for listening music and enjoying music. So they are toned slightly, let's say, accurate and detailed, but not really natural and accurate after all. As for the bass on the 10 RBT, the bass is punchy. It is quite deep, but not really jumpy as I tested on the Bluedios. But it is a nice, detailed, precise bass, and I really like that. The good thing here is the mids. The mids are very dominant and really pleasant, because voices are exactly there where you would expect them. They are right in front of you, and vocals and everything with voices just sounds great. And one thing again, the treble here, the highs are very clear, but they are also slightly cut off at the very top. And you will maybe notice this, especially if you compare them with these. The highs are slightly cut off, but this also is good for longer listening, because it doesn't fatigue you so much, because you don't have these high highs that could maybe be a fatiguing issue. but after all the sound is balanced very great. But in the end it is, I would say, not warm, not cold, but maybe slightly more on the flat side. It is, like I said, very suited for longer listening, and I don't really see any use of an equalizer. Like they are, I found them to be exactly what I would want to, and I wouldn't know where to begin with using an equalizer. Also for the music taste, I would say they are pretty much good for everything. Classic works, even hip hop and so works, but don't expect ultimate bass here. There is a bit more bass than on a really neutral or studio monitor, but it is not something extremely bassy. But this is a good thing. For voices and anything like podcasts, it is okay, but expect things to be slightly more bassy. Now let's get to the 1RBT, and I will mostly just compare them with each other and say the differences are here. The first thing is the bass. We have a little bit less pronounced bass, less than on the 10RBT, but therefore it is slightly more detailed and precise. This is one thing I definitely prefer, and a really good thing after all. The mids are also, I would say, more detailed and precise, and one thing I really liked about those mids are there were, you had the feeling you could localize the voices exactly where they are in the room and how they should be. And this is the first headphone I had this feeling. I never had this before. I could localize everything. And the good thing about the highs, they aren't cut off like here. Not that this is like a problem here, but they are here. They are so vibrant, so vivid, so clear, full of details, and right exactly at the edge where it doesn't get too harsh with too much highs, but still on a very pleasant level. That's a really good thing. They are also slightly warmer and more rich with more body than the 10RBT. This is one thing I liked, and when I did head-to-head direct comparison, you almost every time notice this slightly warmer feel, and this was really something really nice. As for the long listening qualities, these are even better because they are more comfortable. But for some people, maybe these slightly pronounced more highs could be more fatiguing. For me, it was nice because the listening experience was so much lighter and even better. Did I need an equalizer? I wouldn't really know what to do with an equalizer. The bass is exactly where it has to be, the mids and also the highs. So I would say these are perfectly fine without using any equalizer at all. Music also pretty much the same as here. Good for all genres as long as you don't expect any ultimate bass. And I would say these are slightly more for the audiophile person, and these are slightly more mainstream because, like I said, the cut of highs and the slightly bigger, more pronounced bass. Here it is more on a neutral, accurate style, but then again, it is not neutral, not for editing styles or something like that. But in the end, as for that, let's do a quick recap on these two now. For the price, very great sound qualities. I have to say, I'm absolutely fine, and I would definitely be really satisfied with these. The design is okay, they are very soft, and the headphones are very lightweight. In overall, the sound balance is really satisfying, and I really don't have to complain anything about it. Maybe a bit more clear highs, but then again, that's what the 1RBTs are for. The sound is quite accurate and natural. As long as you're no content editor or something like that, then you should look for a studio monitor. But then again, this is not the purpose of these. These are for music listening and for all sorts of this. So it's a very good all-rounder headphone, and as I said, slightly more mainstream oriented. As for the 1RBT, for this price, exceptional sound quality, absolutely amazing. The build quality is even better than here, I would say. Even for the price, I have no problem. They are extremely comfortable, and these are already extremely comfortable, but these are so much more comfortable than the 10RBT. The sound balance is close to perfect, at least for my taste. The bass, the treble, the mids, exactly as I would like it to be. They are slightly more accurate, and as I said, slightly more for the audiophile person. So that's for that. Just one thing real quick about the battery life. I used those for over a week since the last charge, at least 2 hours a day, maybe even 3, and they are still going. So I don't even know how much they hold up, but I can definitely tell you the battery life is amazing. The full charge needed about 2.5 hours, and the thing here is, I have these for 4 days now and with the initial charge, so I don't know how much battery they have left, and they are still going after at least 10 hours of playing. So battery life on both is definitely great. So are these perfect? No, they have weak spots. So what are the weak spots? On both the same, the maximum volume could be better. On both, it's this grill that could touch your ear, but this is I think more of a personal thing, and not everyone should have this problem. Also the buttons and the ports, not the best ones, but they work okay. Slightly worse here on the 1 RBT, but still okay. On this one I had this problem with the sound changing when I moved my head or did some more active things. Then the sound changed, and this was a bit weird. These didn't have these at all. That's a big bonus in my book. And for both, if you want extreme ultimate bass, both are missing this oomph. If you want that, you have to look somewhere else, like maybe the Bludio. So I think I can wrap this up. Would I recommend it? And I say I can definitely recommend both for the price. Both are exceptional, but I have to say, would I buy it? And here's the one thing. I would have bought these if I hadn't tested these. Because the 1 RBT do everything these do already great, even so much better. And I saw Amazon ratings where people said the additional cost isn't worth it. But especially in the USA with just $60, believe me, it is a very, very great investment if you invest this more money. Because these are great for $200. But these are absolutely amazing for $260. And I can't say anything else, because where are they better compared to the 10 RBT? They have the better comfort and fit, the overall better balanced sound, they are more rich, the bass is more precise, the mids are even better, and we have these clear highs. So nothing I can say anything about. I'm absolutely pleased with them. And about those, if you don't want the ultimate bass or anything, both are good. But in the end, these are my absolute favorite. And I would even say my most favorite reviewed product I've yet done on my review channel. I've done a lot of reviews and I liked a lot of products. And I would say the closest thing to this one is the MacBook Pro I got. That one was hyped by me pretty much, but I am very convinced by it. But this is one of the most convincing products I have yet seen. And I can't say anything I would really complain about, except, like I said, the maximum volume that could be higher. But in terms of sound and anything else, these are so amazing. And if you are slightly audiophile and are willing to spend $260, if that's worth it, do it. Believe me, do it. You won't regret it. But if you want to pay just $200, these are great. But I think $60 is more than worth paying more. And just for a few comparisons, I also had the Bose AE2W. They were also very comfortable, but they definitely didn't have this rich music. They didn't have any maximum volume at all. They were at least 10% even weaker in volume than these here. And the sound was just slightly flat, way too accurate for me, because I don't like a lot of accurate sound. I want this warmer tone, and that's why I love these. So I think I will just stop this review now here. I said everything I've done and it's already way too long. But like I said, I really had a lot of fun reviewing both of these. These will go back, still a great product, but these will keep a place in my heart for a very long time until they fall apart, because they are so amazing. Okay, that's it for my review of the Sony 10 RBT and the Sony 1 RBT. If you like the review, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and if you have any questions or anything else to say, leave me a comment down below. Prices are within the description below on Amazon if you want to check them out. Otherwise, all I have to say is, I'll be back.